I'm Markayle Tolliver, and you're listening to the Community Leaders Podcast.
What's up? It's your boy Los LOS, and you're watching and listening to the Community Leaders Podcast. And across from me, I got a fellow. He goes by the name of Markayle Tolliver. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
I did that time. It was a little struggle at the beginning.
Yep, but you got it.
Awesome. So thank you for coming down and being with me today.
Yes, thank you for having me. So excited.
Awesome. I want to know all about you. So we're going to dive deep. But a little bit, what's your name again, and what do you do now? What is your position you do now?
Yeah, so again, thank you for having me. Thank you to Community Leaders Fellow as well for having me on this podcast. Currently, my name is Markayle Tolliver. Not always. Past, present, and future.
All right.
But my name is Markayle Tolliver, and currently I am project manager at the City of Chicago's Treasurer's Office under the Treasurer, Melissa Conyers-Irvin, working really to promote all of her programs and projects, both in person and virtually. I'm also a member of her community engagement team, really out in the community at all of the events, from churches to schools to nonprofits, really giving out the resources that our office provides for the residents of Chicago.
Awesome. So what kind of resources is this that you help get out?
Yes. So we focus on financial resources. So we partner a lot with a lot of the banks and CDFIs, which are community development financial institutions that help provide grants, loans, and small business resources to people on the South and West Side specifically, and then in general to the whole city of Chicago.
Awesome. So I'm kind of on the West Side. So can I get some loot?
You can.
Let's get some loot. Flavor me some loot.
Yes, I can connect you with some aldermen and some other political officials to definitely help with some resources.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. How long have you been doing this?
So for me, it's just became a year, actually. A couple of days after Thanksgiving, I celebrated my 1-year anniversary with the Treasurer.
Awesome.
Yes.
And you've been loving it.
I love it a lot, yes.
Okay, so what time you got to wake up in the morning to get to work?
So I wake up around 6 to get there by 8:30, and I'm there until 5.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
You're getting up at 6 or you're leaving at 6?
Getting up at 6.
That's not
Getting
bad,
up at 6,
bro.
leaving at about 7.
That's a good job.
Great job.
Come on now. Come on, somebody. And then you work in the city hall.
Work in City Hall, yep.
Awesome. So you see a lot of suits all the time.
Yes, I do.
A lot of officials walking around.
Yes, all the time.
Awesome.
Time.
So you just started with CLF 3-4 months ago?
Yep. About 3-4 months ago. It's been a great experience so far. Enjoy my cohort. Enjoy the team, the leadership, staff. It's definitely been a remarkable experience so far.
What's been your favorite thing since you started till now?
My favorite thing, beside the cohort, of course, I love my cohort, was one of the sessions that we had. We had a session with the Obama Foundation about 3 weeks ago, talking with them with their My Brother's Keepers team and how they actually build that team to Chicago and the schools and other nonprofits and organizations that are around Chicago and in Chicago for young Black and Latino boys that need resources, that need encouragement, that need advice and support. So that was one of the best sessions that we had. I loved the conversation that we had. Also really tapped in with one of the speakers to really bring some of that to the Treasurer's Office. How can we, at the Treasurer's Office, enhance and broaden the work that Obama Foundation is doing within the MBK program?
Where does this come from? Where is this thing that you have to help out? Because that's what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You're actually helping out others,
yes.
right?
Yep.
So where does this come from?
For me, it comes from my life. I'm a Westsider, born on Chicago's West Side and North Lawndale area. Born and raised there, attended school there. Family still lives there, of course. And for me, it was that. It was seeing the changes within my community as I've grown up. From being a young one all the way to going to middle school, to high school, I've seen the changes within my community, and for me, it was that these changes aren't what we are looking for, and they aren't for us. They aren't for the Black and brown people on the West Side. So what change can I begin to do to help alleviate that and to help rectify some of those systemic barriers that we have in place around Black people and around brown people and our communities as a whole, within education, housing, mental health awareness, spirituality, everything that you could think of, really just leveraging some of the resources and the connections that I have to my community so that they can be able to regroup and rekindle and reconcile themselves, their families, and the neighborhood as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Have you always had this inclination of, I'm going to do something big, and I'm going to do something for my community? I want to make a change. When did that start? What age did that start at?
Glad you asked, because this actually came, before I answer that, growing up, I always wanted to be a cop.
Okay.
And
CPD?
CPD.
Okay.
Yep. And that's really because of, again, the neighborhood that I'm from, North Lawndale. Seeing Black men and Black boys and some of my family members go through the law system and go through the justice system, and seeing what the outcome and consequences were and still are, for me, that was my passion. That's not the trajectory of many of these Black men and young boys' lives. They made a mistake, they need a little help, need some resources to get them back on the right track. And so for me, it was always, I want to be a cop. I want to be a good cop to let people know in North Lawndale there are good cops. All cops aren't bad. And so for me, that was my main focus, my main dream.
Yeah,
and then in third grade, the year of 2008, we all know that President Barack Obama.
Let's go.
Yes, then senator for our state of Illinois, he became the president. And so for me, that opened my eyes. And specifically because of my grammar school, Legacy Charter School, on the West Side, we had, on his inauguration, an actual all-school watch party. We literally came all together and watched President Barack Obama and his family be inaugurated and actually hold this position as the first Black family. And being 8 years old in third grade, I was open to seeing representation. And for me, that's when that main thought now that we say a lot, representation matters, that's when that personally gave me the conviction that that's what I wanted to do. I seen myself in him, a Black man from Chicago with a Black family, goals that I have as well to be successful. And for me, seeing him on that stage with his family and his two daughters, take that oath, it was something that was eye-opening. And for me, I knew then at that young age that I wanted to do something special and do something big. And for me, it was always that. Continue working toward that. Continue working, making a difference in North Lawndale, in your community on the West Side.
Okay. So that's 2008 where the switch hit.
Yep.
All right. That's awesome.
Yep.
So ever since then, you've been trying to get yourself in that City Hall, because you're in City Hall right now, right?
Yes. Yep. I'm in City Hall.
So you're walking the path that you're trying to create for yourself. So how did you get in City Hall?
Yes. So long story short, again, like you said, walk in that path, continue to stay on that path. Something that Black and browns have in us is resilience. And so through pain, ups and downs, we still have that resilience in us to continue to push forward. And so for me, that's what it was. Through family, through personal issues, through health issues, I still was resilient to be that person that I wanted to be. And so for me, I went to school, got my bachelor's in broadcast journalism, because I then wanted to do Black stories. What are the Black people in our community saying that they need? I wanted to be on air, actually producing and giving out those stories to the media and to the public. And then COVID happened my last 2 years of college, so that positioned me to actually look into another career path, because I was graduating, needed a job, but couldn't get hired at any news station. All the news broadcasters were at home and in studios giving out the news, so I couldn't really intern or get a job there. I reached out to a mentor who was actually in politics a little bit, but working at World Business Chicago, which is the economic agency for the city. Decided to reach out and actually landed a job there on the community impact team. And we were under the administration of Lori Lightfoot as the mayor, and I was working heavily on Invest Southwest program. So a lot of the developments that were coming to the South and West Sides, I was very deeply rooted in that. So for me, it was staying with that. I was loving that. And when we decided to see some changes in that organization, I decided to reach out to the city, and specifically the treasurer's office, because there were some openings for jobs, and I seen the project manager, and I jumped right on it as soon as I saw it. Interviewed, went through the process, and got hired, and started literally a month after I applied, and been there ever since.
Wow.
Yep.
How was that first day walking into City Hall? And you're about to work. You're not walking to the City Hall to go get an application anymore, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get the application anymore. You got the job. So how did that first day feel for you, walking inside that building and saying, "Wow, I work here"?
It was a lot of mixed emotions, I will say that. Excited, of course, to be in the room of City Hall, to be in that building itself. And like you said, as a worker, as a city employee, I work for the city of Chicago. It was excitement, like I'm one step closer to one of my ultimate dreams and goals of being in politics. And so for me, it was that excitement, but also that nervousness of, oh crap, I work for the city, not just South and West Sides, but everyone. And then also with that, also knowing people are watching me. The city's watching. They know who you work for. They know what you're doing. They know your programs. They're following you on socials. So for me, it was, oh crap, again, let me make sure that I'm intact of what I'm doing and who I'm with. Make sure that I'm carrying myself as a city employee.
Let's go.
And specifically under a treasurer who was elected by the residents of Chicago to be the treasurer of the city. And so for me, it was a lot of emotions, but definitely, again, excited and nervous, but definitely was ready to take on this adventure.
Awesome. So did you share your aspirations with your parents about what do you want to do? Did you share that? And then actually that first day of going to the job, how did your mom feel? You know, what did your father say? You know, what did your family or friends say? Do you remember that?
Yes. So my mom always knew I wanted to go into politics.
Okay.
But it wasn't this early for her. It was always like, okay, once he get another degree, maybe, once he get a little connected with some more people. And I kind of kept it under the rug for a minute. I applied, did some interviews. I didn't tell my parents until maybe the second interview.
Okay.
I told them, like, I've been applying to some different jobs, interview once with the city job. Father was very excited. Take it, continue, go on. My mother, same way, continue to go on, do it. But she also was like, is this the right time for you? Is this what you want to do now? My mom is really big on making impactful decisions. And so she just continued to tell me that, what are you going to get out of it? Why do you want to go there now?
Okay.
And so for me, it was that conversation with her.
That's some good questions.
Yes, yeah,
extremely
it was.
good questions. Yeah.
Yep. And so for me, talking with her, it was that, yes, Mom, this is something I want to do. My time at my organization now has expired. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but definitely want to do it at a larger scale. And especially because of what my interests are in getting into politics. And she was right on board with it. My family was on board with it once I told them that I got the job. So my parents knew while I was going through that I was doing it. My family didn't know until I actually got the job.
So you landed.
Yes.
You landed that plane.
Yes. Then I let everyone know this is where we're at.
I bet they're excited for you
They're
as well.
excited for me as well. Have attended some of our events. Definitely support me all throughout some of our community events as well, and just giving me that encouragement that I need to continue in the space that I am.
Okay, awesome. Since we're speaking about family, brothers and sisters, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Yes, so I have on my mom's side 2 younger siblings. I'm the oldest. a younger brother and a younger sister. And then on my father's side, I have 4 siblings. I'm the second oldest. I have an older brother. It's me, a younger sister, and then a younger brother. So I definitely have leadership skills, been taking care of the family for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
So the big bros on mom's side and the semi-big bros on the pop side.
Yeah.
So you got some siblings underneath you that are always pulling and tugging on you.
Yes, always.
Awesome.
As well as I have 2 nephews from my older brother as well. So definitely being tugged from all of the younger ones. Okay. Yeah.
So how can I say this? So that have your brothers and sisters, do they want to follow your steps? Are they interested in that?
None of them are.
No? Okay.
None of them are interested in politics. I actually talked with my younger brother on my mom's side, and he is willing to just allow my connections to help him.
Hey.
We actually just met. I just connected him, rather, with one of my mentors through my job, who's in real estate, who's doing some projects on the South and West Sides. My brother's interested in doing some architect things, and so I connected him with him, and they're actually getting ready to meet up and do some work together. So for my brother, I don't want to do it, but I love your connections.
Right.
And then some of my other siblings, they just have different fields of interest anyway, from music to fashion. So the politics is not where it's at for them.
Not their thing. It's not their thing. But it's got to be somebody's thing. It's your thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank God for that, because I believe you're going to be doing some great things here in Chicago, bro.
Thank you.
So,
bro.
have you seen any change on the work that you do with the connections that you make for people? Have you seen that? Has it come to fruition? Do you see the fruit?
Yes. I definitely do. I definitely would say in my current role at the Treasurer's Office, one big change that I brought this year to her annual summit, which is a financial summit that she brings banks and other financial institutions for a one-day summit about resources for the city. This year, I brought the youth component to that summit. They've been doing it for 4 years. This is the first year that youth were actually participating and had workshops for them. I attended it last year with my previous job, and that was one thing that I definitely saw that was lacking. There were no young people there. And in order for us to financially build and have generational wealth, this needs to start early, especially being a young person who have went through some financial hardships and some credit stuff and car stuff. It's understanding at a young age what those means are, what those details are. What does it mean to go bankrupt? What does it mean to have a car repossession? What does it mean to actually live on your own? And so that needs to start a little, pretty much younger than what we are now.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was bringing youth to that summit this year, having youth programs, youth workshops, influencer panels, a special celebrity, Keke Palmer, to actually talk to the youth.
She was there?
She was there.
And you didn't call me? What is going on, bro? What's going on here?
Guess who else was
Palmer,
there?
you need to call me, bro.
Guess who else was there?
Who else was there?
Lorenz Tate.
What? Come on.
Westside
I better stop
native.
clapping in front of this. I'm over here clapping in front of this mic. Oh, wow.
Matthew Knowles,
Let's
Beyonce's
go.
dad, was
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So we talked to them 3 about how do they build generational wealth, and specifically with Keke Palmer being young. You started at 9 years old in movies. How did you build that? Lorenz Tate, you're a Westsider. A lot of Westsiders were in there. You're a black man. How did you and your brothers start that? And so for me, it was having those youth in there to see I could do this. These are people that look like me, come from where I come from. Keke Palmer coming from Harvey. Like, we know where that is. We know our families are there.
Yep.
So to understand that 9-year-old did it, I could do it as well. So for me, it was that, having the youth actually take part in something special like this.
It's funny you mentioned Lorenz Tate. He's been playing a lot of roles right now where he's a politician.
Yes, he has. He has.
Like crazy. He's been playing back-to-back politician roles.
Yeah, and I can see it in him after his acting career.
Okay. Oh, he might be shooting for your job. You gotta watch it.
Right, I'll give it to him.
So what do you find? What do you find that moves you in the morning to do what you do? You get up in the morning, you say, "Oh, I gotta go to work," or you like, "I gotta go to work. I gotta go serve. I gotta go serve the people of Chicago."
That's me, the latter. I wake up ready to go serve, ready to look for community events that I could go and promote the work that we do. Other Chicago well-known wealthy people who we could have on our programming to talk about their wealth and their journey in that. And specifically, that's one program that I do manage in her office. Wealth Wednesdays, and we sit down with wealthy politicians, entrepreneurs, CEOs, business owners here in Chicago and talk about their journey from all backgrounds. How did you build? We actually just had two brothers who are artists and Chinese from Bridgeport area come and talk to the treasurer. How did you come from China over 30 years ago with only $30 in your pocket and now are world-renowned artists, presidential recognized artists, but here in Chicago? It's those stories that I love to bring and love to research, to bring out to the public and to the residents of Chicago as a whole.
So they share their journey with people.
Yes.
Is that like a live recording, or is it a audience there, or
It's a live recording. So we in City Hall we have some studios, a couple of studios, and we bring them into our studios, sit down with the treasurer, meet her, and literally just talk about their wealth journey, where they came from and where they're at now, collaborations that they might have had, ups and downs and setbacks and successes that they've had. Again, just really bringing all of these resources to the residents, because again, Chicago has wealthy people. We do have money. We're sitting on money, but how do we get that? How do we obtain that as Black people, as brown people? And for me, that's my push. That's my goal. And like you said, I wake up every day knowing that there are resources that the treasurer has, that other people has, that we do not know about. And so for me, it's that, having that passion to actually share that news, share that information with people everywhere.
Man, yeah, I need to know where this money's at, bro.
Yes.
Where is this money?
Yes, yep. And there's a lot of resources with a lot of different things that play into that. So you have some state grants and state loans and resources through the state treasurer, as well as the Illinois Department of Economic Opportunity. Then you also have some city grants through Department of Planning and Development, through Department of Housing, that actually give nonprofits grants and loans to build programs, to build projects in the community. Specifically, if a lot of people are seeing gardens and community centers going up across the city, those are people that are taking advantage of those community grants and those projects that actually give funds for people that are in the community doing those grassroots events, bringing all those people that many politicians can't get to together. So for me, it was all about that.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Man, I want to want you. I'm going to want you on my pod. Talk to the people. So where can we find this information that the recordings? Where can we find that?
So you can find them on YouTube if you search Chicago City Treasurer. She'll pop up, and all of our videos that we have had will pop up. Or you can just go to her website, ChicagoCityTreasurer.com, and look up Money Mondays with Melissa or Wealth Wednesdays, and you'll find all of our recordings.
I love it because you know why?
Why?
Because the guy across from me is the one leading it.
Yes, yes, I'm leading.
So they can watch her. They can watch her all day talking to people, but the one behind the curtain is you.
Yep. I'm managing the topic. I'm managing the month that they come. I'm managing the scheduling of the officials or the people that are coming. Managing the actual conversation itself. What the people are asking the treasurer. What is the treasurer asking the people? Managing all of that. And I love that. Love bringing people that I know and some that I don't know to the table to enhance the treasurer's work and just enhance their own personal work to the city itself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I got to ask, even though I know, but I want the people to know, people that are watching this right now, how old are you?
I'm 25 years old.
25 years old, people. Come on, somebody.
A youngin'.
Come on, somebody. He's a whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff, man.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
But right now, I want to know a little bit more about you. and we know you're where you want to go with your life and whatnot. We got that.
Yeah.
But who were you when you were 10 years old?
Yep. When I was 10, I was very into making friends. And I think that's where that help came from. Just wanting to talk to people. Let me hear your story. Hear my story. Let's connect. And that's also where that passion of politics came from. A lot of politicians aren't very reachable, aren't very sociable. And so for me, it was learning how to be able to hold a conversation with anyone, any level, CEO, chief executive of HR, DI chair, all the way to the office manager or to the reception desk or to security or janitor, but knowing how to have a conversation, connect with them, and also hear them as a person. So again, at 10, I was running through the halls of Legacy Charter School on the Westside, doing my work, of course, being a smart student, but also still, again, being that 10-year-old young African-American on the Westside trying to make it, connecting with people that I wanted to, being a part of programs that had mentors that actually helped me and showed me, even at 10 and 11, you can do this. I want you to do this. Look at where I'm working. Look at how I'm dressing. Look at my family. So for me, it was that. It was hanging with family and friends, but also still really trying to build what I wanted, because I knew at that young age I wanted to be a big person, to give back, and wanted to be big in success and wealth. So for me, it was always that mindset of I am still young, I still have a life, but also I do have goals that I still want to accomplish.
Awesome. So I'm gonna push you a little bit forward from 10 to 17.
Yep.
Who were you at 17? What was going on? What was going on in your life? Mm-hmm. Let's go there. What was going on?
Yep. At 17, a lot was going on. Family issues, financial issues, violence in my family and friends, losing family members to violence, to health issues, having to help my mom a little bit more with my younger siblings. All of that took a toll and took heavy responsibility around that age, 17, 18. And so for me, it was more of a responsible person. I really had to leverage my background and my experience and who I come from, my family as well, to what do I want to do. And so for me, it was learning at 17 systematic racism and barriers that I see in my community. Coming from North Lawndale, where I live, and then going to Wicker Park at Holy Trinity High School, seeing a difference in just the infrastructure, seeing a difference in restaurants.
Can you explain that, the difference in infrastructure?
Yes. So like on the west side, you'd see drugstores, liquor store every other block. You see abandoned buildings. You go blocks with just vacant lots. But then I'd ride the Ashland bus that's on the west side, but then take you through the north side, and I would see the changes. I would see hotels. I would see parks. I would see grocery stores that are not on the west side. I would see housings going up. I would see bigger schools, elementary schools, high schools, restaurants, sit down and fast food. You would see bars, clubs. You would see a more a city or neighborhood that had amenities. But then in North Lawndale and Humboldt Park and Little Village, you saw the lack thereof. And so for me at 17, it was also that being and going through what I went through in my life and seeing what I saw, how can I change this? There are some things that are against black and browns that we can't kind of get through, but we can with the help of resources, knowledge, those that actually look like us. And so for me at 17, it was really that. Now leveraging, okay, I've seen changes. I know there are some barriers and hardships for us. Now let's try to hurdle over that. And so for me, it was connecting a lot. At that time, I was in Lincoln Unlimited Scholars as well, and connecting with a lot of my mentors through that program and other mentors that were like me and that weren't like me. How can I help change this? And so for me at 17, 18, that's what I was focused on. What do I want to do? How do I want to do that in my next chapter of life, which was college at that time?
Oh, awesome. So you think because of your age, people look at you like You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You just started.
Yes, I get that a lot from people my age, older, and even younger. All the spectrum of you just started. You only been there a year and a half. You've been with the city for about 2 years. But it's that though, because I'm this young, and because I've experienced certain things. These are the people that we need in our political seats as we continue in the political system that we're in now. And for me, it was that, right? I've been through it. I've dealt with it. I've lived it. I've dreamed it. I've dealt with all of this. So it's the impact of he knows it. So allow him to work in it, work with it, work around it to begin to help change some of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mentioned family being in trouble. You mentioned family being sick.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing that you could remember and share with us if you want to?
Yes. So I actually like to share two things on both spectrums. One, law and family, the justice system. I have a couple of family members who have been in the justice system, one who still currently is. And for me, understanding even his life trajectory, knowing that I've grown up hearing him on the phone, never fully seen him in person until visiting him at the prison, and understanding as I gotten older what his crime was and what the consequences was. Now being a little older and understanding, I understand consequences, but I also understand grace within those consequences as well. And so specifically for this family member that I'm talking about, the justice system has failed him on the grace aspect. He's been in there long enough. He's done things inside the prison in terms of getting degrees and starting barber's license that have shown the justice system, I've done wrong, I accepted it, now help me help you all to get me out of here. And to realize that he still have a substantial amount of years really hurts me and shows me that the justice system, again, has barriers and hardships that are in place for Black and browns to stay trapped and stay caged in where we're at and what our mindset is. And then on the health aspect, my maternal grandmother, passed away from lung cancer in 2017. A week after I went to college, which was another reason why I stayed pretty close home, because I knew my grandmother was sick. And understanding the trajectory of her life and her health, I also seen Black and brown have a disparity in health. We aren't, not disparity, but we're overlooked in health, in the healthcare field. Okay. We don't have the same resources, same medicine. Our medicine is way higher than other medicines. There aren't really Black or Latino doctors, well, at that time, growing up, for us that knows about diabetes, hypertension, all of these other cancer, all of these other ailments that many Black and browns deal with because, again, the systematic racism and barriers that we've been through. So lack of grocery stores and more of just corner stores and liquor stores. All of these played a part in not only my grandmother's health, but just a lot of Black and Latinos' health because there aren't resources in those needed.
Are they hospitals? I'm pretty sure I remember a couple, but
yes,
are they still there?
They are, but again, it isn't the care that you would get at Rush, that you would get at Lurie's Children's Hospital.
Or Northwestern.
Or Northwestern.
Right.
It's the bare minimum of, oh, yep, the same average thing that they're going through. Let's give them some medicine if we can. If not, so be it. Whatever happens, happens. And so for me, it was that. And seeing my grandmother's health decline pretty quickly showed me that too. When I see other people of other races, of other statuses, be sick, same disease as her, but actually come through it, have been in some chemotherapy that I've helped, have went to doctors that actually have saved their lives, and to see my grandmother and other family members fail in their health showed me that health also is a place in industry that Blacks are left out of. And we will continue to endure the pain in health if we as a community don't decide to come together and change that for ourselves and for our community as a whole.
Mm-hmm. I think you're in the right place right now, being surrounded by so many CLF fellows that are trying to make that, no, not trying, let me take that back, that are making a change in the neighborhood. there's so many of them loving their neighborhood, loving their people,
Yep.
that they want to change. They want to see the
Yes.
change, and they're making the change.
Yes.
So how do you see yourself making a change in these neighborhoods?
Good question. Currently, I feel like it's what I'm doing now, bringing those resources, those politicians, those organizations, to the table all at once. Let's talk. Let's debate this. Let's really see where our heads are and come to a consensus with that. So for me, it's continuing to do that and convene, and then eventually actually being a lawmaker to change and write some of these laws.
So you're thinking about getting into politics?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, yep, to actually change and write some laws, and change some clauses of some laws, to actually see that, oh, this is why North Lawndale experienced that. This is why Humboldt Park experienced that. Okay, yes, let's change that. Let's get some new rules, some new laws in that will not just be for certain people, certain neighborhoods, but for everyone all around.
So we are back with Markayle here at the Community Leaders Podcast. What's up, bro?
How are you?
I am good. We're having a good conversation, aren't we?
We are.
Awesome. So I want to know what's your 5-year plan? What do you got coming up? Because I can't get into your 20s because you're in your 20s. You're already in your 20s.
Yeah.
So what's your 5-year plan right now?
Yes. So right now, I'm definitely thinking about staying where I'm at in terms of City Hall and the Treasurer's Office, really continuing to work there. And then after that, continuing my education in politics to actually understand the world of politics and politicians, and the way they move, the way they study, the way they actually change policy. And then after that, my goal is to actually get in the community more and become a full-on alderman, to actually be a person over a neighborhood, to see change in that neighborhood.
Can I ask you what neighborhood? can we warn that alderman in 5 years? Get yourself together, because Markayle is coming.
I won't say the ward. I'll just let them know it's on the west side, of course.
All right.
And so all the west side aldermen and all the women definitely be on the lookout.
That's awesome.
Yes, yeah. So for me, it's really actually getting in that community, making my name and face known, making some connections, some partnerships, some relationships, to actually do some collaborative, supportive work.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So last question, very last question. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
That's a very good question. Never thought about that.
After these messages, we'll be right back. No, we're staying.
Invisibility.
All right. Why?
Because of where I'm at now, in the face of the city, in the face of always being known and actually doing things, I kind of would love to see how it is not being known, not being seen while doing certain things. Just knowing, oh, someone did this for me. Oh, someone made that change. This happened because of someone. So for me, it's that, being able to make change and make things happen without being seen, without being on spot all the time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You don't need a limelight
I don't know.
to want to make the change, right?
Yeah,
You just want to make the change.
Yes, that's all.
That is awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming down to the Community Leaders Podcast. Markayle Tolliver.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Come on, somebody.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Lois. Thank you, CLF, for having me.